So I just got told, you ain't explaining shit. Which is like the goal. That was the goal of all this, was like to make an excuse to not have to listen to me or say that it doesn't matter how much sense I make because I'm a bad person, but you guys are bad people. So here's why Christianity is not real. So the whole premise is similar to other religions where there's like a creator, there's a guy who created everything, right? And this guy chose for everything to be like this, right? And you look at the beginning of the Bible, and the beginning of the Bible pretty much says God told Adam and Eve not to do one thing, and then even though God created everything, it's not God's fault that a fucking snake told them to. The devil existed at the beginning of the universe. So hold on. So God created a snake, told Adam and Eve not to do something, and then the snake told them to do it. But it's not God's fault. It's Adam and Eve's fault. Even though Adam and Eve are literally at that point designed to pretty much do what they're told. Because they're like, look, we've only ever had God tell us what to do. What the fuck is this thing right here? Like, what is this, bro? So already that religion is fucking stupid, because this shit isn't, none of this shit would be our fault, and we're just fucking suffering. This is hell. That's what that would mean. And another thing, this fucking religion, it's all like, you can't say that. Jesus died for us. That's guilt. You're guilting people. You're saying that they're not there. You're pretty much saying that's wheelchairing. You're wheelchairing people. You're wheelchairing people at that point. You're saying that we all have to respect our religion because Jesus died. And what if it happened to you? Or something like that. And another thing, you guys are describing God as this all-knowing, all-powerful being, but they're actually unethical. If they created us and didn't give us the ability to do everything that we wanted without any problems, or just pretty much design us to know everything on the spot so that we never had to learn. And this is the God who's capable of doing anything and everything, not a God who has a plan, because a God who has a plan would also have the plan for us not fucking having problems. You can't be God and capable of everything and also need a plan to make something happen if you're capable of everything. I've thought of how to make this shit more possible than God at this point. God is nothing more than a control complex. God is Nasimev. Nasimev is nothing to something, nothing to something. The concept of nothing will always exist no matter what, because if you remove everything, nothing still exists. Now, nothing to something is pretty much mass. Nothing both physically and non-physically exists, which means that all that's missing is a control complex. Control complex is a very simple concept, a very simple concept, a very simple idea. Control complex is the ability to choose to be physically non-existent or non-physically non-existent. That's choice. That's choice right there. That's the choice of mass. Now, God is the idea of being able to do whatever you want. The reason that this occurs is because at some point, Nasimev splits into different personalities. Your brain inside of it, your consciousness, is a form of Nasimev. It's existence that's happening right now, all the time, never. It's existence that's not happening ever again for no reason. It's constantly starting right now. Your existence is constantly happening right now. That's Nasimev. Nasimev just started existing. Your consciousness just started existing. It's just learning now, all the time. It's constantly doing that. Now, two Nasimevs, two nothing somethings interact with each other. Both want to be real. Both want to be able to do whatever they want because they have control over this concept. The reason this concept is limited is because it is unethical for one thing to want to do whatever it wants, and for another thing to also want that, but only one of them to get it. It creates a conflict. This conflict manifests as mass. Now, in the mass, everybody still wants to be able to do whatever they want. However, they can't, so instead of being able to do whatever they want, they compensate by being able to do more than everyone else. This explains primal behavior. This explains manipulation. This explains why everyone's always trying to outsmart, outdo, outbest one another. It's their way of compensating for their attempt to be God, which is all God is. God is not the story, the fairy tale that you've been told. God is the desire to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, without problems. The ability to do whatever you want. Nasimev can actually explain how to make the God complex real. And not only that one person can do whatever they want, but that everybody can, and explain how it's actually possible given all the evidence that we have for what causes existence. God, the Christian God, is not real. The Christian God is not any more real than fucking Thanos at this fucking point. It's just people keeping it up because it's all they fucking know, and especially fucking white people. No offense, I'm not trying to be racist, but look, it's white imagery, man. It's just people who don't know what's going on right now, who are constantly just responding to the image of what's happening, would like to believe that something that represents them is God. That's why the Hispanics turn it into a Hispanic thing. That's why black people go to Rastafarianism. That it's just people who don't know what's going on right now, trying to hold on to something that makes them think that they'll be the ones who have control over everything. And the fucking Jesus complex is literally, I would have done everything for you, and you let me die. It's a guilt complex. It's pretty much the whole. You ever notice the strategy of taking it all back? Whenever you can't do whatever you want, you go, this was mine and you took it from me, and that justifies you being irrational to take it from people. That's all this fucking Christianity shit is. Never could explain itself. Never could explain itself. And every time it got caught, it would just fucking do things like molest kids like me. Stop fucking advertising Christianity to me. It's only gonna get worse from this point. This was a very unorganized, lazy video. I'm not threatening you. I'm fucking telling you. Stop fucking advertising Christianity to me.